Yeah. All right, so here we go. I'm going to hit go live on that. This officially takes us live on YouTube, apparently. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, I am back this week with Matt. Matt is back in the house, and of course, we're coming off of the brink of apparently we did not know. Waking up, we were nominated for favorite adult podcast through AVN. So, I woke up yesterday and I seen a couple of people post, "Oh, we voted for you. We voted for you. We voted for you." And I was just kind of like,
for what?
Voted for what?
Like the president now?
Yeah.
Nice.
like what's happening? And I saw a thing like people, and I went in and I looked and I was like, well, oh shit. So apparently, shout out to all the PR people we work with. They submit all the best podcasts. We're going against, who's who, some of the best, adult content podcasts out there. To us, it's just an honor to be a part of that. It's something that, to be nominated for that. We honestly never thought that with this Yahoo bullshit podcast we do, that we'd ever be nominated for, something like that. So, it's great. We appreciate that. And just make sure you go out. We're posting our link on all the official social media pages. Make sure you go out, vote for the Happy Hour podcast for the 2023 AVN's favorite podcast. And once again, thank you. And thank you to everybody who's voting. There's a shitload of people that are just voting for us already. And dude, it's just it's unreal and unbelievable. But what I'm going to do real quick is I posted on all social media pages this week, since Christmas is coming up. I posted, what are you going to leave out for Santa? It was just a general question for everybody on our social media pages, and we got a bunch of answers from everybody on social media. And our good friend Sean Bateman, who's a huge fan of the show, he said that he's going to leave out hookers and blow for Santa. Imagine that, Santa comes to your house, but what, are they high grade hookers, or are they
they're elf hookers? They're little elf hookers.
Are they crack whore hookers, or what? Because obviously, if there's blow, there's going to be a lot of blow. So
Santa, he only snorts the finest snow.
Yeah, Santa has the finest snow.
The finest snow in the North Pole.
Well, if you've seen the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix, that's what the true Christmas Chronicles are. It's Santa doing blow with hookers on Christmas Eve at Sean Bateman's house. That's what the true Christmas Chronicles are. And of course, shout out to Derek Sharp. He's the one who does all of our amazing weekly graphics. He said that he's going to leave out Santa a HH Pod shirt. He's going to leave out Santa HH Pod shirt. Hopefully that means Santa will go on to avn.com and vote us for favorite adult podcast. So make sure you go over and do that. We're going to keep plugging that until you get sick of it. Ian McBrien said he's going to leave out a pic. He posted a picture of a grandma with weed. I couldn't track it down though. So I would show it, but I couldn't track it down. My sister said she was going to leave out hand sanitizer and deodorant. So, but that makes sense because you look at it one, COVID is still kind of a thing, but also Santa is going down those dirty ass chimneys. I can't imagine how bad Santa fucking smells.
He's got to, but he's got to go around the world in one night. That work off a sweat, man. You got to keep the deodorant.
Not to mention, everybody always asks the question of how does Santa get to the places where he is, and you see in the Santa Claus movie, if you don't have a chimney, it just forms a fucking chimney. That's imagine being high off your fucking nuts and you're sitting in your house and you don't have a chimney, and then a chimney fucking forms and Santa appears. That's probably the best fucking balls out trip you've ever had in your entire fucking life. Shout out to Erica Icon, the Rub PR. She said that she would leave out her Hitachi magic wand, which is a word we've heard a lot on this show. So Hitachi magic wand, we actually saw one at Exotica. Shout out to Exotica. So imagine you wake up on Christmas Day and Santa's sitting there pants down with a Hitachi magic wand in his ass. That's and then my friend Mandy, who I've known for a long time, we used to call her Mandick for a short name. She said Psilocybin
No.
gummies.
Stop. It's psilocybin. Psilocybin. Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to butcher that.
Right.
And she was like, shrooms. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so basically he's going to Tommy Simbazo's house. That's pretty much
where
what's going on right now. And then, of course, our good friend, Racy Hawkins, of course, you see his gimmick almost weekly here on the Happy Hour podcast, which is what the fuck is that food? He said he would leave his cooking out for Santa, which if that's the case, Santa may very well take a revolver and play fucking Russian roulette with himself, just clicking that thing until he blows his fucking brains out.
Jeez.
Shout out to Lisa. She's a part of the Perry Hall Ghost Hunter. She's been on the show before. And she also married myself and my wife. She said when he asked if she's been good, she's leaving out all the bad parts. So that's actually kind of a little good play on words. So
Lisa, you've been a bad girl.
Yes, Lisa, you've been very naughty. And then Justin Jones, he said D's nuts. So I guess when Santa comes down, he's just going to be sitting there with his nuts just hanging out of his pants. Just, Santa's going to have his Hitachi. He's going to have the hookers in the blow. And then you just throw in Justin Jones' nuts, and that's the whole thing. And then Jack's Nutty shout out, of course, the wife of Tom Nutty. She says she's going to leave out a collection plate. So they want Santa to pay them. And then Brandy Nicole Ford said her bills. So a collection plate, bills, Santa is putting out some money this holiday season. And then my mom said cookies that she doesn't like. She's leaving out for Santa. And then shout out to John Purefoy from Roses on Red. He said he's leaving whiskey out for Santa. So Santa's gonna I think I don't know, like out of all this stuff,
like Santa's gonna have a good year.
Yeah, what do you think is the best stuff that Santa is going to get out of all that stuff.
Out of all that?
Yeah.
I mean, the magic wand, he's going to have the most fun with, I'm sure. I mean, whiskey and the magic wand, I think that's all you're going to need.
And of course, there's our guest, Dan Ferrari. How you doing, brother?
Hey, guys. I'm great.
How are
you?
Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. And of course, we left a little, like, it wasn't really a poll. We posted on all of our social medias this week. What would you leave out for Santa? And of course, a lot of, people commented on it. Different fans, they said hookers and blow. Someone said a Hitachi wand. Someone said whiskey. So Dan, if you were to leave something out for Santa, what would you leave out for Santa?
Man, that's a tough question. I'd have to say Slut Inspection DVD.
Slut Inspection DVD.
I'd say that's one of the DVDs from my website, or even all the DVDs. You can have all of them.
Yeah, that man just comes down the chimney and he just has nothing but a huge selection of DVDs. Like I feel like it's the kind of thing where with me, like I want to leave him a note and go, please build me something. Mm-hmm. And I just leave out like a bike chain, like a retainer. I don't even wear a retainer. I'll just find a random retainer from some crackhead in Baltimore, a retainer and just, some ketchup and go build me something. And it's like, Santa, you take this shit back to your warehouse, your workhouse, whatever, make me something and bring it back next year. Now, Matt, I think I might know where you're going to go with yours, but if you could leave anything out for Santa, what would it be?
Well, it'll probably just a bag of weed.
I knew that's exactly where you were going to go. And of course, shout out to Jason Rushman. He's in the thread here with us. Of course, we're right here on YouTube Live. So, you guys are tuning in live. Make sure you leave some comments. Leave some comments for Dan. Any kind of questions you guys have, we'll definitely ask them. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the last.
It's kind of
not at all.
There we go.
What we're going to do is the last couple of weeks, we've been showing a couple of photos of awkward photos with Santa. So we got a couple for tonight, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pull the first one up now, and we're going to show this one here, and then we're all going to comment on this. So here, let me just go ahead and put that down there and close that, and then we're going to hit that. And here is the first one. So check that out. I mean, this guy, like, I don't even know what this is. Like, this guy, like, that, I don't even know where this mask comes from or what even is going on with that. This poor child here. And he's also wearing, like, Jason Voorhees murder gloves. Like, those are, like, he just went gardening in those gloves before he put this whole garb on. I mean, like, that's, like,
That'll ruin your fucking childhood right there.
If you've ever questioned the existence of Santa, this will definitely show you this motherfucker may not be real.
That's absolutely terrifying. Completely terrifying.
Yeah, like, I mean, imagine that though. Like, you're sitting there and you wake up in the middle of the night and that comes out of your chimney.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, what did he actually come through a chimney? I mean, look how black his gloves are right there. I mean, like, what is that? And why is he holding a child with those gloves on? It's like he just got done burying that child's parents out back or some shit. And he's just like, oh, time to go get some presents. And it's like, oh, great. Now my fucking parents are dead. Like, what the fuck? Like,
too, like it looks like he's soulless in there too.
Yeah. And then there's this one. So that's another, like, I don't know what's going on with that Santa. It looks like he like it looks like
a real Santa.
I believe it's a real look. You can see the hand like that. And I mean, like, do they wrap their gifts? Like, there's a lot to unpack here. Like, you know, this girl is just kind of like, fuck my life. Like, I feel like they now celebrate they're now Jewish, or they celebrate Kwanzaa now after meeting this Santa. Like, that's
know what that kind of reminds me of? What's the movie? Is it Texas Chainsaw where they have like all the
grandfather or whatever?
Yeah,
yes, that is the old grandfather from Texas Chainsaw.
And they just threw a Santa suit on him, and they just keep decorating for it. He's become an ornament of like all the holidays. Yeah, like, they just dress him.
Oh my god, Dan! You ever hear of? We talked about this on the show before. You ever hear of when somebody dies, they like prop them up? Like post-mortem, like if someone was a DJ, like they prop up their body like post-mortem. That's what this is. This is that guy's funeral.
Like Weekend at Bernie's, like going like that. Like like kind of like Stockholm syndrome. Like all these people were kidnapped, and just like, you're gonna take this photo.
Yeah. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and also like the tree has no decorations on it at all. You know, that Santa, it looks like that's a mop head that's just hanging off of his chin. None of the presents are packed. Like, and I mean, I don't know if those are pants or just like a Christmas throw. Like, you can see the ruffles on the bottom, like a Christmas throw that they ripped off of the couch.
Like even the wall paneling back there, it's like 1970s.
Oh yeah, like, dude. You know what? You can't hate on the wall paneling, because there for the longest time when I was in high school, my whole bedroom had wall paneling. Like, things are different now. Like, if this was 20 years ago, you would see paneling behind Dan and you would see paneling behind us. And that's just the way it works. And we'd be like, look at this amazing paneling. I mean, Christ, Matt, you have storm shutters in your basement. So
leave me alone.
And Dan, is there anything from your adult life or growing up that sticks out to you, like from Christmas, that, you know, you just sit there and you think about it all the time and you're like, oh man, that was kind of interesting?
I grew up in the Northeast, so there was always a lot of snow, and like my parents would like do the sleigh tracks on the roof too, because we had like a flat section on our roof that we could see. So they would do like the sleigh tracks. Yeah. And we were like, oh yeah, he came. Really, it was like my dad was just sneaking up there and running like something across the snow. But so that was always weird. But nothing really stands out. We used to just do the movies. You know what I mean? Like when we got older, my brother and sister, we would go to the movies on Christmas because it was empty, and my parents were like, yeah, get out of the house. Just get out of the house.
Just go. Get out here now. Go to the movie. Now you said he made the snow track, so I'm guessing like he pushed the thing and it was down on like the ground or whatever. Imagine if like he made the snow tracks but on the roof, and it's like, you know, he wants to give you the impression that Santa was there, but on Christmas you just witness your father just fall off the roof as he's making the tracks. Like that, I could see a parent doing that. Like, oh no. See, Johnny believes, so we need to make sure Johnny knows that there are, and he's like carrying like a plastic reindeer up a fucking extension ladder to make like reindeer tracks and shit. And then the next thing you know, he just hits the ice and boom, there he goes. And that's the story you tell all your friends on how my dad died.
My father was a hippie too, so you know he would have been stoned on the roof, being like, "Oh, this is such a good idea, dude! Like, I'm gonna nail this. This is the best Christmas ever."
Yeah, he just sits there and he's like, "Man, I didn't know there were such good fireworks around Christmas time. Meanwhile, there's not a fucking firework in the sky."
Off the gas. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, Dan, of course, you're in the adult industry, and you know, anybody who watches this podcast knows that 75% of our guests are from the adult industry. You know, how many times, if any, have you played Santa in a film?
I haven't played Santa. I've never done the Santa role. I know. I've done the cop. I've done the step uncle, stepdad, all the sort of things like that, but never Santa. I don't know. I think I just don't have the girth for it. Maybe they just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because of course we looked a lot of stuff up. Like, dude, you're in phenomenal shape. Like, I mean that's the thing. Like, I mean, especially me, like coming from the world of pro wrestling or whatever. Like, literally, like someone could look at you and go, "Man, that guy is in WWE." And I mean that's what I thought. Because you're in phenomenal shape, a lot better shape than what my fat ass is now. But it's the whole thing of, well, I mean, there's such a thing as buff Santas. I mean, look at you. You could do the Santa Claus porn parody, and you're Tim Allen before he became Santa Claus. Like, you remember he was just normal. A couple weeks later, he had a beard. He was a little bit fatter, and they just start shoving more and more pillows under your shirt. And the next thing you know, she's fighting her way to get to you to just to blow you. It's like just I
come in and stuff all the stockings for Christmas. Fill those stockings up.
What you do? I saw a photo earlier. You remember when we were kids? We had those clear stockings that you could see through, and they were massive. Like, they were like this fucking high. They came in different sizes, and someone had them lined up, and I was like, we were comparing each other's sizes, and we didn't even know it. And it's like, you could sit there and be like, all right, well, this one's bigger, that one's not bigger. And I mean, like, with that, it's like you would have, like, I don't know, like, I feel like with a movie like that, I feel like the elves need to be little people. Like, they have to be. Like, the elves have to be little people, and all the bad children get gangbanged by the elves. Like, all the bad girls get gangbanged by the elves, and then all the good girls get Santa. And that's the way it is, because it's like, it's like, okay, you get the elves because you're bad, but you get Dan Ferrari if you're a good girl. So that's
you gotta talk to the studios. Let all the studios know that's what you want to see. You want to see me as Santa next year? Let's get it going. I'm down. I am so down.
Yeah, and
Santa will show them how to run that toy shop.
Get
to work, elves.
Yeah, that's it. Like, oh yeah, and I mean that's the thing. You could have a workshop, but they make like sex toys in the workshop. It's like nothing but sex toys, and that's what Santa makes. And you could do that whole what was it, fight scene from Turbo Man, where like instead of hitting like a bunch of Santas with like a big candy cane, it's like a big floppy dildo, and like you're trying to that'd be a cool one parody too. Turbo Man. That's actually pretty good.
We actually should talk to a producer and actually like pitch that idea and see what comes of it.
And like that's the thing. Like, that's an idea. Turbo Man. You're in phenomenal shape. You could be Turbo Man, the Turbo Man porn parody.
Again, if I get cast, I am down. Like, the stuff I shoot for my own content is very specifically themed cuck queen content. So that's what we shoot. But anything the studios want, for the most part, I'm down. As long as nothing's going in me, I'm good. Let's go.
Now, I seen a post from you not too long ago. It was a few weeks ago. You made a post. You were like, hey, basically, offering to, any of the producers or whatever, hey, I'm available, for hire, all that, this, that, and another. And I thought to myself, I'm like, what happens if you have this? But like, some old grandma goes on like a Google search for like people and somehow they come across that, and they're like, oh, this young man's for hire, and then they call you.
They want you to guard.
And like they don't like no difference. Your age. Yeah, I got a gig for you, and you show up, and like this lady wants you to just rake her leaves, and like she's like 90, and you're just sitting there like, oh, I mean, I guess this film's gonna start eventually, and like she's just like, I don't understand why that man keeps taking his pants off up front.
Hey, as long as is she paying my rate? If she's paying my rate, I grew up doing landscaping. Come on, I'll do it.
Yeah. He's just sitting there doing the whole thing where his butt's up in the air while he's like cleaning the fucking like the gutters out in front of her house and all that shit.
Like, you just gave me an idea for OnlyFans.
That's premium content, right? Premium content. We could have Dan come in and be our OnlyFans Santa. And Dan, of course, being in the industry, what's do you have like any like crazy like wild moments that you can recall from like set, or just things that went belly up while you were doing any of your scenes?
Oh man, you mean good or bad?
Either or, like
direction. Oh my god. I mean, I do a lot of the live shows. That's always, just crazy because anything can happen during the live shows. My first time fisting a girl was on a live show. That was pretty wild. I didn't even know I was gonna shoot. Like the show just started and we were doing our thing, and then like 10 minminutes in, she's like, "Will you fist me?" And I was like, "I mean, you said it, so now it's gonna happen."
Yeah,
like
we're live now. It has to
now.
I that was also my first time footing someone was on a live show as well, which was I got a toe into a girl's butthole. That was
like
that was pretty wild.
When you do something like that, like, do you like wiggle your toes while you're doing it? Like, I mean, like you just like enjoy the moment. You just feel like all of it, like in between your toes. You're just like, I just need a little wiggle while I'm in here.
You want to make it comfortable for them. Just like, when if you go in with a finger, you're going to give it a little kind of a shake, shake as you're going in, say you do the same thing with the toe, but, so that was pretty wild. Yeah. I mean, those are a couple of my wilder moments. I mean, I guess a lot of people would consider it wild that my wife films me in all the scenes for our content. So that's pretty huge for a lot of people. For me, it's normalized now, but for a lot of people, that's just the craziest thing they've ever heard.
Well, is she in the industry as well?
She works behind the scenes, and lately she's been doing some CFNF scenes, which is clothed female, naked female, where she stays clothed. She doesn't perform. She doesn't get naked and perform, but she gets involved in, like, we also do like threesome scenes where I shoot a POV. She'll be in the scene, stay clothed, and like push the girl's head down on me and stuff like that, and like all that sort of fun stuff. But yeah, she mostly works she works for marketing for a major company, and then we have our own sites as well. So
cool. Now, does her marketing job know like what you do? Like, is that an issue with them? Or because I mean, trust me, like I had people all the time go, "Well, what's your podcast about?" And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that. Like,
no, it's marketing for a porn company.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they actually they're the hosts of our site and everything like that. So they're fully aware. She actually does. Her and her team do all the marketing for our site. So it's really great. Yeah.
Nice. And cool. So is that how you guys met?
No, we've actually we just celebrated our 20-year wedding anniversary on.
Wow, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah, on the 12th was our 20-year wedding anniversary. We grew up in the same little town in the Northeast, and yeah, we lived a mile away from each other in Woodstock, New York, and we small town, and that was it.
Wow, that's good shit, man. Well, congratulations. Make sure you dress up like Santa for her on Christmas Eve. So, because yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's the kind of thing that if I don't see a photo of Dan Ferrari as Santa on Christmas Eve, that I've had enough. Like, and of course, like,
I got rid of the beard though, man. I don't have the beard anymore.
Yeah, I expected the beard when I came because I was stalking your Instagram.
Matt loves men with the beards.
Well, I got a beard, so I appreciate other good beards. Fuck you, right? No, that's kind of my job to sneak peek at people's Instagrams and shit like that and see what I come up with. Yeah, so I was actually surprised that you didn't have a beard when you came on. I was like, huh, I must have shaved it.
Honestly, that was mostly out of me being lazy. I was like, man, the upkeep on this is just like every 2 weeks I got to go to the barber. Like, it was too much. I was like, screw it. You know what? Yeah. It'll be back. Give it a month. I'm Italian, so it'll be back in like a month.
That's the way mine is. My wife hates it when I shave, and I'm just like, it's gonna be like this for like 4 days, and then it'll start growing back. It's not a big deal. And what we're gonna get into our fucked up news articles. So we always do like fucked up news articles. We're gonna read them and we're gonna react as we're reading them. And the first one is, a man is accused of decapitating a woman inside of a Northeast Philadelphia home.
What the fuck, Ray?
A man is accused of decapitating a woman inside of a Northeast Philadelphia home. Ahmed Sharif, 34, was arrested Tuesday and charged with murder and possession of an instrument of crime and abuse of a corpse. So what's a possession of an instrument of crime? Like, that's an interesting terminology. And it says abuse of a corpse. It says police responded to a home along the 300 block of McGee Avenue around 12:45 p.m. Tuesday after receiving a 911 call. Well, it probably wasn't the corpse calling it. Yeah, when they found the body of a 41-year-old woman with a severed head on the kitchen floor. Upon arrival, we found a witness as well as a victim laying on the floor inside, Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Michael McCarrick said. As a result of a discussion with the witness, we identified the person of interest who has been subsequently detained. Police said Sharif fled on foot and was captured about 6 blocks away from the home near Robbins and Rising Sun Avenue. So does it say why he did it? Oh, it's someone said that the woman, they treat her like a slave. So I guess like that they have her together. And like imagine, like I can't imagine what that's like having like someone like what possesses you to sit there and go,
So
okay.
Did they say that they legally had possession or custody of her?
Yes. It was a younger woman like that was there, and they legally had custody of her, and like they made her carry like all the bags from the grocery, like all the grocery bags, like into the house and all that shit. And it's just kind of like, well, hold on a minute. Like, did she like get rebellious and say, I'm not carrying in those fucking groceries, do it yourself? No, Dan Ferrari isn't going to dress up like Santa this year. I'm not going to, like, you're not going to see that. And they're just kind of like, all right, well, you know, we're sorry. Go get the hedge clippers because, yeah, this is just the way it works. Like, I mean, it's crazy though, like to sit there and show up and there's just a headless body laying on the ground. Like, what the fuck? Like, what possesses somebody?
That like went way too far. They were like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna choke you, but with like a fishing line, like, you know, like something like crazy.
We're doing a hitman.
Of a crime. Wouldn't that just be the murder weapon?
Yeah, like that's what stood out to me. I'm like, what is an you know what? Okay, because we're here at a computer, so I want to see if there's anything different for that definition. So an instrument of crime. Let's see.
Instrument probably be anything.
Does the instrument of crime any of the following? Anything specially made or specially adapted for criminal use. Anything used for criminal purposes and possessed by the actor under circumstances not manifestly appropriate for lawful uses it may have. So
oh my God. So
is that
they had something specifically made?
They were ready to cut her head off. Like it was basically like, if you don't carry the groceries, your head gets cut off. Like that's what this was. So like, because I've never seen that word before, an instrument of crime. So like, are all these people that like buy bombs, like make bombs, like are those considered instrument of crimes? Like, you know, dude's just sitting in his basement with like 14 instruments of crime. Like
said, if they're made specifically to perform a task or of the crime, yeah, that would be an instrument of crime.
Yeah. Like anything that you're going to put it together with, like, you know, all the tools, or like, you know, in a drug interaction, it would probably be like a scale, you know, we're measuring coke on a scale or something like that. That would be an instrument of the crime.
Right.
I would imagine. I don't know. I
don't know either.
I promise I wasn't there.
I don't have any instrument of crime, so I have no idea. All right. So here's another one. This one is not as bad. This one is, man fakes a heart attack at Walmart so his friend can steal carts full of toys. It says a 27-year-old Florida man, that makes perfect sense, faked a heart attack at a local Walmart as a part of a plan to steal toys. Thanks to surveillance footage, the man and his 30-year-old partner in crime were both arrested later without incident. What sounds like the plot of a bad made-for-TV Christmas movie. 2 Lake Wales, Florida men were arrested on Tuesday after stealing a cart full of toys from a local Walmart last Friday. Gennard Trey Dupree, the younger of the pair, faked a heart attack at the entrance/exit while partner Taurus Bernard Scott slipped out with the goods. So, like, how does that work? Like, so, okay, because you get all those checkers at the door at Walmart. So you get like, normally they're like 77 years old. Like, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a young person at the door of Walmart. So it's like, so you have all the, so you went through the store, you've loaded up the carts. So at that point, like you're looking at the front, you're like, all right, we can't go to the register area. We're looking at the front. Okay. So how are we going to do this? Like, we just going to walk out? Like, obviously this old dude's going to ask us about something. He's probably like, I got it. I'm going to have a heart attack. But, you know, like at that point, like, do you like do it like all dramatic where like you fall and like you grab his shirt and like, you're like, oh, something, oh, I'm coming for it. Like what, like, how does that work? Like, you know, and like automatically, like, you know, something's up because the other person with the cart just like running their ass off through the door. It's like, oh, yep, somebody's dying. I'm out. I don't need to pay for anything. Someone died in your store. Everything's free. Like, Like,
it also it seems like overkill. Like why go through like it's already a 90-year-old dude. Just go up and just be like, hey man, can you like show me what's going on over here real quick? And like he'll be all confused and just go that way anyway.
Yeah,
it's an unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't condone stealing or anything, but I mean, we've all been like, yeah, this 90-year-old dude's not going to stop me.
Yeah.
If I wanted this, I was like, all right. He's hey, I need to see your receipt. Like, oh, you have a good day. You just keep walking, right?
What,
I mean,
what if like
it's not really going to stop you?
What if like the 90-year-old dude is like a black belt though? Like this dude was like a vicious, like, shoot fighter, like in his previous days. And it's just like, the guy's having a heart attack and he's like, look, dude, I'm fucking 90 and I'm the farthest thing from a heart attack. Like this dude's like in Dan Ferrari shape. like it's an old dude that's like in Dan Ferrari shape. And he's just kind of like, all right, like the one guy's like faking his heart attack. Meanwhile, he's like ninja kicking the shit out of the guy with the cart, like outside or whatever. Like, I mean, like, I feel like
that would be my luck. That would be the guy I'm stealing from, and he's a fucking
he's
black
a
belt
Navy SEAL. He's a former Navy SEAL. That's just what,
puts me in a fucking
You also got to feel bad for the guy. Like, what were they stealing the toys for? Was it like Toys for Tots? Because then it's like, just give them the toys, man. I
was just saying that, like, wouldn't it be some shit if it was like, we're taking these toys to donate them to Toys for Tots? And it's like, couldn't you have just contacted Walmart and went, hey, blah, blah, or like, what if the plot thickens and the toys that they took were out of the Toys for Tots bin at Walmart? They were like, well, these are already free. Like, because really random people, that would be a good little like crime wave. Like you just go to random like businesses and like schools and stuff, and you just take the Toys for Tot toys. Like, I mean, how can you get in trouble for stealing free toys? Like, like how does that work? Not that I'm encouraging.
It's set
like,
free.
Yeah.
It's a very big moral dilemma there, though. You're like, I don't know about that one. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Santa's gonna really come for you at like that one for sure.
Yeah, I don't have money for these toys, so I'm gonna.
Right, but
they put Tot on their kid's shirt, and they're like, "Look, this is Tot, and these are his toys."
What kind of heartless bastard would steal fucking Toys for Tots, though?
What kind of heartless bastard would think of something?
Right, you take the toys and you fucking just go to the closest kid. You're like, there's no fucking Santa Claus, and you just leave with the fucking toys.
There's no hope for you or your Christmas. I'm out of here. And Dan, have you ever? Of course, things are getting wild on the roads, on the streets. Of course, they get more crazy during Christmas time. Like, have you ever been on the road and like witnessed like a really fucking crazy accident? Like, you just look up and you're like, oh well, this accident's happening right now.
I've been in a couple of crazy accidents. Well,
really?
Mostly one. I crashed one of my motorcycles a couple of years back. And that sucked. It like not terrible injuries or anything, but like it was on my birthday, and I was just lane splitting down this road, and someone turned left in front of me. I just went up and over the car, but because it was my birthday, someone was looking out for me and was like, "You're not going to be injured, but your bike is going to be fucked." So my bike was destroyed. But actually, I was just driving. I'm on a crazy road trip right now. I'm driving to Kentucky. I'm 5 hours out from Kentucky right now. And I saw like an overturned tractor trailer going the other way.
Yeah.
And like the traffic was lined up for like freaking 15 miles in the other direction.
Yeah, we get a lot of those in Baltimore. And the reason why I bring it up is because I drive a truck for a living. So I deliver for a living. And like I've been seeing all kinds of crazy stuff lately, but I was driving Wednesday. I was driving Wednesday on 295 in South Jersey, 295 South in Jersey. And I'm sitting there, I'm driving, I just hear all this noise and I'm like, what the fuck? And then the next thing I see is a tire fly in the air and I just see a door flapping like this. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Lo and behold, like probably about like 50 feet in front of me, there's a pickup truck just tumbling like this in front of me, and there's car parts just going everywhere. And I'm like, oh fuck. So now like it's the parting of the Red Sea around like this, like literally all the cars just parted around this tumbling, truck. And so I'm like, all right, I stop, an 18-wheeler stops. We get out, we go over because it's like obviously someone needs to call 911 or whatever. And apparently what happened is This dude hit a red car. He clipped a red car, swung over, hit the guardrail, and then somehow, I don't know if he broke his axle or what, but somehow ended up in a fucking barrel roll. Jeez. And so we called 911, and 911's on their way. And then dude's like on his side, and like someone goes to hand a tail through the window because there's still like all kinds of shit just flowing out of his fucking car. And we're like, we don't want to get too close in case this blows up. We don't want to blow up with it. So someone hands a tail through. Hey, if you're bleeding, here's a towel, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I'm not bleeding. We're like, what? Like, how are you not, like, after that tumble? And so like, as like the police were like, we're on our way, I'm like, well, fuck, I need to get back to Baltimore. And then the other truck driver was like, well, there's people here, police are coming, whatever. Dude's like opening his door and like coming to climb himself out or whatever. I'm like, this dude doesn't have a fucking scratch on him.
There was no scratch. You know what? I bet I don't know if it's his fault. I'm not going to say it was, but like when you fall asleep. Yeah, like say when you like get relaxed. Yeah, because that they say most injuries happen is because you tense up. You tense up, yeah, and that's the thing. He might have fell asleep or some shit. Yeah, that's the thing with wrestling too, is that we tell people all the time, relax, and like you think about it, you're going to get hurt, and that's the whole thing. It's like it's just a weird like dialect that you get into with a lot of that kind of shit. But just relax your skull. I'll hit you with a steel chair. Yeah, just relax. Don't think about how much this chair is going to hurt when I scramble your brains like eggs with it. Philosophy. And Dan, have you ever thought about like doing anything like? Of course, you're in great physical condition, and we brought up earlier. Have you ever thought about like doing like pro wrestling or like anything like that? Like if there wasn't porn for Dan Ferrari, what do you think you would be doing?
I would probably be still doing music. To be honest, like I was a musician for a long time. I'd probably still be doing that. Wrestling, I think I'm too far on the other end of 30 to be doing wrestling. I don't think that's yeah. Like it's all about aesthetics for me. Like it looks good, but I still wake up and like have to get my day going before my back stops hurting.
Yeah. Like it's funny. So do you still do the music now? Like, are you still a musician now?
I mean, you never stop being a musician, but it's more just like here and there. I'll grab the acoustic guitar, just play around a little bit, But yeah, no, I mean, porn has really become all encompassing in my existence. Behind the scenes, I also perform. So it's a lot. But it's great. It's amazing, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Nice. I thought it would be like one of those like pussy by day, musician by night, like type things, kind of like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like it's like you have this one personality, during the day. You have the Dan Ferrari, porn gimmick, and then once you're done, you're like, all right, I'm cleaning myself up, I'm grabbing my guitar, and now we're gonna go and rock out.
Rock out with your cock out.
Oh yeah.
So
I did music for so long though. So like from 15 to my late 20s, I was doing music as much as possible. I did a tour and everything like that. So I had my whole rock star experience, and now I kind of have the groupies without the touring. So it kind of works out.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, not really groupies, obviously, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying.
But if there were groupies around, the amount of sex you would be having with the groupies you're having now, just you don't need the groupies.
Living the dream.
Yeah. And have you had any
paid for it now?
Yeah. And that's always important, being paid for something. That's funny because it's like we've done this podcast for so long. I'm like, even with pro wrestling, I'm like, I don't know what getting paid is. Like, I don't know what any of this is. Wait a minute, we're supposed to make money for this? Like, but no, like Dan, have you had any kind of porn related injuries?
Porn related injuries. I mean, sometimes you'll be like, that one position, you'll wake up the next day, like your inner groin will be like your hip will hurt in a certain spot. You're like, oh yeah, that's because I was doing that weird up and over where I had my leg over the side, like things like that. Or like you'll pull your calf because like they'll have you having sex on a table that's just like a little bit too high, so you'll be on your tippy toes.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one, it's not an injury, but like in the moment, sometimes you'll be doing your thing, and you'll get like a Charlie horse, but you know, you don't want to stop the scene. So you'll be in doggy and you'll just like kick your leg out behind you. You're like trying to get rid of the Charlie horse while you're doing the scene.
I think I've seen that before in scenes. And now, yeah, I think I've seen people do that before.
Honestly, shit like that happens to me all the time when I have sex. Like, I'll just be like hitting and I'm just like, Like, but see, my partner like knows what's going on. So I would, like, you know, performing would be a little different. I'd have to like kind of like suck it up, just like punch it, like just keep going. But it's good to have like a partner that understands and like,
and what's funny is you'll probably never have the experiences in porn, but when I did pro wrestling, every so often it wasn't a very common thing. But what would happen is sometimes if you took a certain move a certain way, you're not paying attention to what was going on. Sometimes your junk and your balls would end up on the inside part of your thigh. And then your legs would slam shut and basically crush your fucking dick and your balls just together. And like you'd be sitting there, and you'd be the guy go to pick you back up.
Give me a minute.
I need a minute. And they're like, what happened? It's like, I just crushed my fucking dick. Like, please stop for a second. Like, yeah. So that is.
There are certain things like, you know, when you're doing a scene and it's like, it feels good, but then like, you know, maybe like they're trying to get like your dick and the balls in the mouth at the same time or something like that, and it's just like a little bit too tight and it hurts. So you just kind of play it off as pleasure. You're like, oh.
Yeah,
it's awesome that he froze just like that. I love that.
And what's funny is it's froze. Like he froze completely, and the screen is stuck like that.
Please,
because it's funny because he was a little delayed, I guess, with his connection or whatever. But I guess like it just froze completely. And, like, I'm gonna check to see if the live is like that.
That is great. This is why
I feel like we should do the meme, that photo meme, like when you wake up and you see Santa with hookers and blow.
There he is.
What's
he had so much fun.
Oh,
he just
dude, like you don't understand that when you froze. Like you froze, like like stuck like the
yeah, exactly.
It was like a meme photo, and I was like, when you wake up and Santa has hookers and blow, and there's no presents.
I'm all about any promotion is good promotion.
That's awesome. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to play a couple of ads from some of our friends, and that'll give us about like 3-4 minutes. You want to hop up, grab something to drink, use the bathroom, whatever, and we'll be right back, and then we'll get into our game segment, which is always a blast.
So, absolutely, let's go.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and shoot some ads up here for you guys, and we'll be right back right here on the Happy Hour.
This is Bill, and I am so thrilled to be part of the Happy Hour podcast. It's been a great fun. It's been fun with you guys. I enjoyed every minute of it.
In a world full of hunger and thirst, one restaurant will attempt to satisfy these cravings forever. Meet our hero, the cheeseburger, and his salty partner, crab dip tater tots. Together, with local craft beer, they take the fight to hunger. With a special appearance by Cupcake Milkshake, they... Vagabond Sandwich Company. Better making food than making commercials.
Well, because I come out of the house and I just do this every fucking winter, all winter long. And then she's like, stop doing that. The neighbors think you're flipping them off. And I'm like, no, I'm flipping off the fucking season because I hate winter. Big mistake. The squirrel off the thing and collided head first into the dash. It drops on the floor, and I did not know, I swear to you, until this point in my life, I didn't know they made noise. It's on the floor, its tail's pushed out, and it's and I'm like, screaming. Point this out now, you're not supposed to judge people. I get that, all right? I understand. That's wrong. You don't make assumptions, all right? But I saw a woman last week leaving Costco with an economy-sized jar of peanut butter, getting in her car with a black lab, driving home, and I was like, I think I know her relationship status.
There's a story there.
Yeah. Pretty confident. I know.
Say, oh, you're the one who knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, you know. You don't use chunky, it makes them nip.
Oh.
Okay? Not that I'm talking from personal experience or anything. I just actually read this. It's true. Google it. Okay? The human anus can stretch 8 inches.
Okay.
Just want to let you know that.
Wow.
Okay? So the next time you're in yoga class and Carol's beside you, just like, I'm just not that flexible. Go, I think you're underestimating yourself, Carol. I think you're capable of a lot more than you could ever possibly imagine. Dare to dream, Carol. Dare to dream.
Hello, my name is Bubba Almany. I am a bodyguard who has been in the security industry for over a decade. My team and I offer a variety of security services that cover all aspects of security operations. We have secured some of the highest profile clients and largest events in the world. Should your situation require armed protection, we have the ability to carry in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Not only do we have the latest security equipment, we also have world-class training. We look forward to assisting all of your security needs by bringing you the finest and most dedicated security personnel available. From the Office of the President of the United States to local county and state dignitaries, my tactical dignitary protection officers are the tip of the spear in this extremely competitive industry. Let my highly trained staff protect the asset today. We can be contacted via the email and number below. Thank you.
Hey there, everyone. This is Reagan Fox, and you are watching the Happy Hour podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour podcast. And of course, we're right here on YouTube Live, and we're here with our guest, Dan Ferrari. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into our segment called Oh, the Humanity, which is where we play a bunch of our various different games. And Dan, once again, thank you for joining us a little bit early. Of course, you know, anybody who watches the show, they always know that we start a little bit early, you know, each and every week just to get the juices flowing. And sometimes the guests come in a little bit early. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Incoherent. So have you ever played Incoherent before?
Never.
Okay, so pretty much what Incoherent is we're going to show 3 cards. It's a series of cards, and they're going to be in drunken lingo. And you need to try to figure out what those cards say. And for anybody watching at home, if you're new to the program or if you're familiar with the program, we did this game in our first ever HH Pod Rumble, which was a 30 elimination Royal Rumble style episode that we did where Johnny Goodluck won it, and we sent him a championship belt at the end. We're going to have an announcement soon on the next HH Pod Rumble for 2023, so that should be coming a little bit after the new year, so look out for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the first card ready now, and then we're going to get that up on the screen for you. So there's that, and then we're going to hit that. What do you think that says? And sometimes it's easy if you kind of use like a Southern accent.
I caught a burrow. I caught a new burrow.
It's when you have someone's back.
I caught the burrow. Oh, I got you, bro.
I got you, bro. Yeah, that's it. It is I got you, bro. And the other hint was when you're playing Fortnite and your teammate's about to get killed. I got you, bro.
I was gonna say, being in the industry, like say you're in like that 10-man fucking gangbang, right?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
And your buddy just like throws you the towel. I got you, bro. After you're like,
yeah, he just throws
fucking jizz all over. You're like, hey, bud, I got you, bro. And you throw the towel in.
And so here's the next one. What do you think that is?
That it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Lil Nas X? No, that's
Yeah, Little Nas X. Yeah, that's it. So the hints were hip cowboy and gonna ride till he can't no more. So there's that one. And then here's the last one. So some people do really good at these, or some people just bomb completely. What do you think that says?
Hopefully this doesn't happen.
Yeah. You never
Your
want this to happen.
industry.
Yeah, in your industry, this to accidentally happen.
It has happened, I think.
I'm sure it has. I don't know how it wouldn't.
Oh, impregnated?
Yes, it is impregnated. Yes, and the hints were 9 months and scientific term meaning over the fun. The fun part of life is over.
That's always terrifying in a scene, though. Yeah, you're right. There's always that little like when they're like, "Hey, it's a cream pie scene." You gotta have that little discussion of, "Hey, so are you on the?"
Yeah,
I know. I've always wanted to ask this. Like,
Yeah.
that's got to be an awkward conversation. So
yeah.
you're fixed, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to let the floodgates open if we don't know what's going on here quite yet.
My wife would be so mad if I had a porn baby. Oh my god!
I wonder if have you ever heard of anything like that happening? Like, I wonder like how many porn babies are out there.
You don't have to give any names.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors, of course. There's always the rumors, and in any industry, there's always rumors. I mean, but I don't think anyone would ever intentionally do that necessarily to someone else, or there's always alternatives which are not ideal, obviously, but I don't think anyone would intentionally do that to someone. But I've heard rumors, of course.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to Never Have I Ever.
All right,
So pretty much Never Have I Ever. What we're gonna do is we're gonna read off a series of cards. And if you've done it, if you have a drink, you either take a drink or you raise your hand, and then you give like a little explanation if you have done it. So these are randomly drawn out of the box. So let's see. The first one is never have I ever dated my sibling's ex. So I have not done that. My sister is way younger than I am. And I have not.
So wait, if you've done it, you drink? Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Never have I ever dated my sibling's ex?
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute, let me think about it.
I have.
Wait. So you have a brother and you have a sister.
Yeah, obviously.
Which sibling's ex? Which sibling's ex did you date?
Are we gonna go there? Right? No, it's my brother, my older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, older brother. So yeah,
You want to be inclusive, you never know. Like,
Yeah.
it's 2022, like.
that was an older brother, and it was an older girl. So of course, why not, right?
Okay.
Gives me the.
Now here's another
Yeah.
fun one. Never have I ever kicked someone out of my wedding. So when me and Jess got married, I don't think we kicked anybody out of the wedding. I've excluded myself from a wedding,
Right.
but I was just kind of like, I can't deal with this shit no more. I'm out. For
Yeah.
that reason, I'm out. The whole Shark Tank thing, I am out.
I came close to kicking someone out, but
Okay.
it didn't happen.
Okay.
It was you.
It was you.
My wife and I, we eloped with only 2 people at a town hall. So there wasn't enough people to kick out. I mean, I would have kicked the one dude out because he was so late. I was like, bro, really? You guys? But I needed him to. I needed him to sign the form because you needed the 2 witnesses. So I couldn't kick him out.
I need you. After he said, go, just get out of here. Look,
Right.
you're not drinking with us after this. No,
Yeah.
this isn't
Everybody
happening.
out, we're consummating the marriage right now.
Right here in the courthouse. We're doing this right now.
And the judge can watch.
And the judge is Judge Judy. And then she gets a little bit too excited. And then the next thing you know, it's that.
Once.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, that bitch needs a good kicking. I'll tell you that.
We've had this before, and we had the whole segment of Smash or Dash, and it was Judge Judy,
Oh, dude,
and I was like, I would totally smash Judge Judy.
Okay, dude,
I feel like
out
that
of her.
she knows what she wants, and that would just be amazing.
I bet she's naked under those robes.
Oh yeah, I want her
She's up there fucking playing with a hoo-ha whole time, and
I want her to bang the gavel as we're doing it.
And
That's just
she's just slowly edging herself, and then she just gets angry every time, and it's, she's got to release, babe. She's got to release.
She could be totally submissive because she has so much control in her job. So she's like, you know what, just dominate the shit out of me.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just give it to me, right? Just give it to me.
Fucking smash her head with that gavel. No. Of course, with her consent. Of course. It's all
Yeah.
about-
Everything consensual. Consent is number one, of course.
And-
Always.
and-
She wants me to hit her with that gavel. I will. Fuck yeah.
So here's one, and I'm gonna have my drink on reserve for this one, and I'm out of beer, so I'm gonna have
Hold
to
on.
take the shot. Never have I ever purposely tried dreaming about sex.
Come on, Ray. Oh, come on, man.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
I probably
Well,
have sex in my dream every night. I probably do. Even the ones I don't remember, I'm pretty sure I had sex in those dreams.
Oh my god. Like, yeah, like in the nights when Jess just like, no, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just fuck you in my sleep then. So shout out to George Disco Tabasco Barrel
Fuck.
Um,
She doesn't know about
whiskey. Yeah, so has a little bit of a fiery aftertaste, but shout out to George Disco. And also, while I'm talking about it, let's get into our featured beer, which is Shiner Holiday Cheers. So go out, pick up some Shiner Holiday Cheer to cheer up your holidays a little bit, and drink some Shiner. And it says cheer for all. It's a fail. It doesn't have a cool little description on the back. I love the breweries and the cans and bottles have like a cool little elegant description.
It's pretty
on
cool.
it.
It's got
So-
like pecans, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what it has? Peaches and pecans.
Peaches and pecans.
Is it pecans or pecans?
I don't know. That's like an age-old debate of but
I always thought it was like
I'd say pecan.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Because when you order ice cream, it's like butter pecan.
yeah. I say pecan. But some people say pecan. I say pecan.
Well, fuck those people that say
I have
pecan.
issues. I'm pecan. I can't be pecan. So, but what we're gonna do. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously on the show we can't have a deck of cards in front of you, so we do it in a roulette style. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read off the face card, and then you're gonna choose a number 1 through 6, and that card is going to answer your card. If you don't like that answer, you get 2 rebuttals. You get 2 other chances. If those fail, whatever the last card is what answers that card. So this first one
Okay, good.
is,
I'm confused.
man, this is bullshit. Fuck blank. So what do you think? 1 through 6.
Let's go with 4.
4. All right. All right. So, man, this is bullshit. Fuck a hamburger on a string that keeps getting pulled away.
I mean, that would piss me
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah, that would piss me off. Do you want to rebuttal and choose a different card?
I mean, it's good, but I feel like we gotta go once more on that one.
All right. What number do you want now? 1 through 5.
Let's go with number 1.
Number 1. All right.
number
Number
one.
1 for the win.
This is actually a pretty good one. I like this one.
Man, this is bullshit. Fuck vomiting mid blowjob.
I like that one. Wait, who's vomiting?
I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like,
Well, you
like
know,
could you
use
like
your
could you
imagination.
imagine? Like
I mean-
what would that do to a woman if she's blowing you and then you just start earling all over the place? You just start fucking just throwing up your lungs everywhere. Like
I mean, to each their own. You know, I mean,
If she's
you
into
never
it.
know, man. Like, listen, I've done some, like, I'm not gonna, necessarily say puke blowjobs, but I've done some. So, where they're going down and they just.
Right. I've seen some of those.
is it like the kind of thing where it's like, they're and then like you start throwing up and they're like, just throw up all in my mouth and I'll go back to it. Like at that point, it's just kind of like, do we keep rolling with this? Like, I mean, I don't care. I'm fine, but are we doing this?
Well, who's the one we had on a while ago? The throat dragon. What's her name?
Zarella Skies.
Yes.
Zarella Skies.
Zarella. I love Zarella. I've worked with Zarella a bunch of times. She's awesome.
Nice. And
well,
then,
she's very well known for the throw up
yeah.
type of
And
vomiting
also,
blowjobs.
what was it? Anastasia Rose. She does a lot. Like she was the one we were talking about. There was a scene where the guy was pumping hand soap into her mouth. And I was like, was that real hand soap? And she was like, yes. And I was like, I don't know.
Right.
Like the hand soap is kind of what made that whole scene like me. I'm like, Oh, Anso being pumped in her mouth. All right. Well, this hasn't done it for me yet. I mean, like that's the thing. Like me and Matt joke around all the time that we've been to like the deepest, darkest, like we've been to the anglerfish level of porn. Like that's how deep like we've been into like the darkness of porn, like over all the years. It's like, but after a while, you're just like regular sex just doesn't do it anymore. Like, okay, let's see, mom and son. Okay, both sons and a mom. Like, it just keeps on getting worse and worse.
Stepmom getting stuck in the window.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, let's do this.
The craziest one that I did as far as the puke blowjobs was a model came over. We did a trade and we did a regular boy girl scene for my site, and then she wanted to do a puke blowjob, and I was like, fuck it, I'm down. She ate an entire 5-course meal. She brought it with her. Did our scene first. Ate an entire. Went to a name brand Italian place. Bought a 5-course meal. Ate it until she could not eat anymore. Ate the whole thing, and I felt every course come out as it came out. Like they're texturally, like everything. Like and she drank water at the end, so it was like it started out cold, and like when the salad course came out, there was like roughage. When the like,
You're just peeling foliage off the top of your dick.
You're just ripping a salad off of your guns.
In my kitchen, we put down some tarps, and yeah, she just it was very interesting, and
So the first thing you ask, do you have any allergies?
Yeah.
Could you say that was something like I have a peanut allergy? Be like, oh well.
Have you eaten any lettuce today? And we're gonna do another round. So
a 5-course? No, I'm sorry, I'm not over that yet, Ray.
That's like
a
wait a minute.
Meal.
Yes, like, she went and had the whole what was it? The Olive Garden tour of Italy before she went, which is like the fucking what I get it all the time: the chicken parm, the lasagna, and the fucking breadsticks. Like she's just shoveling that down on stepping. Like, yeah, I'll be ready in a second. Give me a minute. I'm eating my fucking lasagna. Like waiter, get her another order. she's fucking deep throating the breadsticks while she's
at these breadsticks. They're like unlimited. Who's the best part?
Like they pretty much just like a lot of them just try to fill up until they're about to burst. You know what I mean? Because they're like as soon as and like literally like I barely like as soon as the tip was in, it was on its way.
Jeez.
It's almost like you ever see that meme of the guy getting ready to press the button and he's sweating? It's kind of like that. It's like, okay, I'm getting ready to put it in. I am sweating right now because I don't know what kind of exorcist bile like plasm is about to come out right now. Like Slimer from Ghostbusters is about to extract out of this woman right now.
Jeez. Well, I know what I'm doing next Thanksgiving.
All right, so
I loved it though. So it was great.
This is a weird card. This is actually one of the first cards we've drawn like this in the history of the show. Which
draw 2, pick 3. I've never heard
this card in the regular game is draw 2, pick 3. So you pick 3 answers and you draw 2 cards for it. But obviously we can't do that. So what we're going to do is we are each going to choose a number, starting with Dan. Then it'll go to you. Then it'll go to me, because this one is blank plus blank equals blank. So Dan, what number do you want? 1 through 10.
1 through 10.
Yeah.
7.
7. All right. So there's that one. So Matt, you choose a number.
All right. So I got to cover mine because the cards are right in front of me. I'll go with 3.
3. All right. So 3. Matt, you probably could have flipped them upside down.
Well, I didn't think fucking logically. I didn't know I
will choose that. So all right. So we're gonna go in order, starting with Dan. So Bill Clinton naked on a bearskin rug with a saxophone plus a plunger to the face equals taking a man's eyes and balls out and putting his eyes where his balls go and then his balls in his eye holes. So I think that's a pretty good fucking equation.
It sounds accurate.
It sounds pretty accurate. So, it sounds logically. If you were a professor at the University of where the fuck?
How did we get here? Like, this is one of those cards where you read that and it's like, how did we get here? Well, plunger to the face and Bill Clinton naked on a bearskin rug with a saxophone. Like, it sounds like Clue at that point. Like that's how it. Like,
Right. If you could reverse it, this would be like if you could take a man's eyeballs and then plunge it to their face, you get Bill Clinton on a fucking bear rug playing a saxophone.
Jeopardy. What is Bill Clinton on a bearskin rug with a saxophone? So here's the question that I pose. Would anybody like to rebuttal their card? Because I'm sticking with mine, because mine was the man's eyes and balls, card. So I am sticking with that. That's a solid. What about you, Dan? Do you want to rebuttal your card, or are you holding?
I feel like that all tracks. It makes sense.
All right. What about you, Matt?
I don't know why, but it makes sense.
I've already saw the cards, I know, but I do want to rebuttal because I just like the way this sounds.
All right. So here's the new one, since Matt likes the way that sounds. So the new one is Bill Clinton naked on a bearskin rug with a saxophone plus snorting a coke off of a clown's boner equals taking a man's eyes and balls out and putting his eyes where his balls go, and then his balls were in his eye holes. So yes, that sounds like a good time. How did we get here? Well, pretty simple. It was Bill Clinton and he was snorting coke off of a clown's boner.
Yes. Hey, anything can happen,
So that is our Ode to Humanity segment. Dan, how are you looking on time? Can you hang out for a little bit longer?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
I'm good.
Cool. So what we're going to do is we got a couple more weird news articles, and we're also going to get into our segment called What the Fuck Is That Food? With Ray C. Hawking. So pretty much I have a friend that is in a wheelchair and he can't really do a lot on his own, but he does make food, and he makes it in an air fryer and then he posts it on Facebook, and we always try to figure out what the fuck it is. He never says what it is. So we started doing it here on the show. So this one actually has 2 photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the first photo, which actually isn't too bad this week. And then I'm going to show the second photo, which kind of makes you sends it down into a pit of what the fuck. So this is the first one. So this just looks like just a regular kind of generic sloppily made slice of pizza.
Just looks like a pizza.
So that's just a slice
Given
of
its
pizza
condition,
there.
if he made that, that's actually not
But
bad.
he air fried that. So an air fried pizza, that's not too bad. And then you get this.
Oh man.
So you get this with just a fucking river of Cholula hot sauce on the top of the pizza. So Dan, of course we know what it is. It's pizza with Cholula on the top, so we don't have to solve that mystery, but would you eat it, and what would you name that?
I would absolutely eat it for sure. Hot sauce on anything makes it better. What would I name it?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's got to be something like Fire in the Hole, because that's that's like a grocery store $1 pizza with a little extra cheese on it, and then the hot sauce. That's like a bad, or like maybe name it like Bad Decisions. Like something like that.
I am going to call that the Bill Clinton bearskin rug pizza. That's what that's going to be, because I feel like that layer is just kind of like a bearskin layer over that pizza. What about you, man? I would eat it. I think I would actually try that. That doesn't look bad. I'm a big pizza guy, a big pizza aficionado. Like, Matt, what about you? I thought it was gravy at first when I first saw it earlier, and so I saw the Cholula. But
pizza lava sauce, I don't
pizza
know.
Okay, pizza like that makes sense. So pizza lava.
But let me ask a quick question, Dan. Now, would you let the girl vomit all over you in one of your scenes after she ate that?
Oh,
no,
not a chance.
What if she chugged an entire bottle of Cholula beforehand?
Oh God.
I mean, now we're getting spicy, guys. I don't know. Like that might change it. No.
I've got a quick story with that, and she'll kill me for telling the story. But one thing I will say that doesn't mix is cinnamon and your pee or hot sauce.
Well, yeah, I mean, cinnamon doesn't mix with your throat in general. Have you ever done the cinnamon challenge?
No, I didn't.
Like,
I'm just saying,
I did that.
Right, but if you have ever had a girl go down on you with like cinnamon, and it does not feel good. It's okay for at first, but it's and then it gets in the pee hole. It's oh fuck, good lord.
Yeah, I need to sit there and be like, hey,
but if you're into that,
hey Jess, I got this cinnamon here, but dump this whole entire thing of cinnamon in your mouth. And you said you've done the cinnamon challenge. Like, how far did you throw up? Because I threw up doing it. I couldn't do it. And we had a friend You ever see the Man Show when they had that guy who could like literally like take a beer down like that? He could open his throat and do that. We had a friend who could do that. So he did that with the cinnamon, and the cinnamon went down his throat, and you just see his eyes get big and they turn red. And like, he's a big dude. He's like 450 pounds, and he starts sweating. And the next thing you know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen those old like photos of when people would do seances and ectoplasm would come out of people's mouths. Like, that's how the cinnamon came out. He looked like Puff the Magic Dragon as he was firing cinnamon out of his mouth. It was completely insane to me.
I did it twice. Like the first time, like it was just me and my buddy were hanging out. We were drinking and we tried it. And of course failed. We both failed initially. And I was like, you know what? I have a plan. And I did it. And I figured out the way you win the cinnamon challenge. I mean, you technically lose because then you just ate a tablespoon of cinnamon. So it's a loss either way you get it. But you chew it. You put the cinnamon in your mouth and you just chew until it gets like, you know, the saliva mixes and all that. You just continuously chew. And then you can swallow it, but then you just swallowed a tablespoon of cinnamon, so you lost.
Oh, okay. Well, what?
Everything just has a cinnamon flavor for like a week.
Yeah, I don't know, like that. Yeah, like, could you imagine like you're sitting there eating like M&Ms and they have like a cinnamon? I don't know. Actually, chocolate and cinnamon might not be
probably
too bad. That's probably what if someone did the Packy challenge before? Like, you know, that chip. It's like that one hot chip.
The hot chip.
The hot chip. What if they did that beforehand? And like, it's the kind of thing that you see the sense of panic, and then like mid-scene they have to like chug some milk down because like their throats just like melting completely fucking away.
I mean, like if you had like a gangbang and all the male talents ate it and had to see who could get the farthest through the gangbang before they had to give up or something. Like,
that will be fun. Or a blow bang. That would be a cool scene too.
Man.
Oh, dude,
guys are just crying.
Yeah, we need to say like we have so many people.
Get in touch with your producers.
Yeah,
because we need to see this happen.
Like, this thing, like on this show, we've had so many ideas, like the Packy Challenge blow bang. Like, could you imagine that? Like, you just all these guys are crying and their tongues are blue because the current one's blue. Their tongues look like the fucking Blue Man Group.
Right,
That's.
Yeah, because we had the guy on the show before that passed out from that, didn't we?
Oh yeah, Deaf Noodles. The one guest, and we don't do this much, but that was the worst guest we've ever had on this show. Like, he brought nothing to this program.
But he did go to the hospital because of that.
Yeah,
or some
and I mean, he's like, it's weird because he was like one of those YouTube guys that does like funny videos and stuff, and we're just kind of like, dude, like he just didn't engage at all. And I'm just like, well, whatever. We know we didn't get to being nominated by the AVNs for favorite podcast because of that guy. So yet again, I said earlier, I'm going to keep on plugging it. Make sure you go check out our social medias and vote for us for the AVN 2023 AVNs favorite adult podcast. We were nominated for that. We're in good company. All kinds of different, podcasts are on the adult oriented podcast. So, we were humbled. I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know myself, that we were nominated. I just saw people go, oh, hey, we voted for the Happy Hour podcast. And I'm like, wait, what? Hold on. And I'm like, wait, oh, shit. So
congratulations, guys. That's seriously,
thank you.
Awesome. Big accolades for that. It's always amazing to get nominated for anything in general, but like, especially when it's something that you're passionate about. So you guys are killing it. Like, seriously, great job, guys.
Thank you. And that's the thing. And we tell people all the time, anybody who watches our show, like, we came on like, dude, I don't have any notes in front of me at all. Like, we did
it first, but
like, we started to, but it just like, I felt like it kind of drug on. I was like, you don't get real reactions out of it. Like, it's better to get a real reaction because you're talking about real stuff. And I'm like, you have way too many shows where people are like, so how long have you been in the porn industry? Oh, well, how many scenes have you done? How long have you been doing that? No, I don't give a fuck about that. We're doing our crazy little fucking gimmicks. And unfortunately, our guests are going to be along for a really crazy fucking ride. Like, it's just the way, and it's worked out. I got that from pro wrestling because when you were in the ring, it didn't matter how many times we talked about that shit in the back. If you didn't get that shit right in front of a live crowd, you had to call that shit on the fly. That's the way it works. And that's how I did. I still say to this day, I don't know how to do a fucking podcast. I just get on, I talk to people. That's how it works. But what we're going to do real quick, because we haven't done it in a long time. So let me go ahead and get one of these images ready. We are going to do our smash and dash segment, which hasn't been around for a couple of weeks. Yes, for a couple of weeks. And let me just, I forgot to save the image. Yeah, so I'm going to save this real quick. Well, I'll pull it up right like that. So our smash and dash segment. So what we're going to do is, of course, it is a Christmas oriented smash and dash. So Dan, what we're going to do is we're going to say whether or not we would smash or dash. And this is who you would smash or dash. Of course, it is Krampus. So if anybody knows of Krampus, so what do you think? Would you smash or dash from Krampus? Of course, he's got those like predator like type teeth going on right there too.
I mean, is it like a female Krampus are we talking about, or just like the Krampus of
either or? It could. Let's go with the female Krampus.
Identify as either one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe Krampus. He might have the power of being male or female. Like he's a
non-binary Krampus. That's who it is.
Non-binary Krampus. And whatever the fuck that thing is back there that's kind of blurred out. Like
what? Like that one back there.
Yeah, whatever look at that nose. Like that. Is there fire coming out? Like, is there fire coming out of the nose? What the fuck?
I don't know. I think that's just like a camera flash or something.
I feel like maybe from behind. It's got the nice hair, like maybe if it was like a female, like I might be able to work it from behind if that's what was happening.
I think I would smash. I don't think we've had one of these segments where I haven't said I would dash. Like I would smash. And my main thing is I was gonna dash because of the teeth and all that, but then I noticed the two sets of eyes because that's obviously a mask. And then I was like, well, now it's the kind of thing of the game of which eyes do I want to come in? Like that's the whole thing. It's like, is it the real eyes? Like, the eye right there and try to make it through that little slit, or the mask eyes? Like, I mean, that I saw that. I'm like, but if this is also the real Krampus, like obviously he's like a child fought him off and stabbed him in the eye right there. So that one's missing. So he now has three eyes. So, that's a lot of ground to cover right there. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go with
smash.
What's up?
Have you done the come in someone's eyes before? Like it's man, that's some wild shit. I'll tell you what. The first time the model said that, come in my eye, and she holds her eyes open. I was like, oh
I've never had that. I've never had put a contact in my eye and just let him rip.
Wild. I've had a few models be like, that's where I want you to come, is in my eyes. Now I'm like, that's what you want. I'm like, okay,
okay, whatever you say. What
again, Dan living the dream, bro. Yeah. If that's what you want,
I
mean, if you insist,
you don't have to tell me twice. I'm gonna come in that eye.
I've been told it's gentle. I've been told my cum is gentle in the eyes. Like a couple of them were like, it didn't even burn that much. I was like, well, that's the good guy.
Shirt. That's a good shirt.
I used to have a shirt. Shout out if anybody's ever heard of tshirthell.com. Shout out way back when, before I knew my wife, way back when I had a t-shirt that says swallow or it's going in your eye, and it showed an eye tearing up. And that was a shirt that I had for the longest time. And
your wife made you get rid of it. Of course.
It was one of the shirts she made me get rid of when we got together. Now, Matt, what about you? Would you smash or dash Predator Krampus?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, he's gonna get it.
I mean, like that's the thing. Like, you could you're doing it missionary, you just grab one of those little fangs, like those fang teeth he has, like grabbing leverage shit horns, like that. That's like, look at those horns, look at those beautiful horns. And one thing that we also do on the show too very often is let me get it ready. We haven't done it in a couple of weeks, and I've been meaning to, so I've had like the same photos on reserve for it, and that is porn parody comparisons. So pretty much what we do is we show a photo of the regular thing, and then we show a photo of the porn parody version of it. And of course, Christmas is right around the corner. So our first one is obviously going to be an image of Jim Carrey's The Grinch. So everybody knows what Jim Carrey's The Grinch looks like. So there is a porn parody version of this movie, which ends up being like that. So I guess it is The Grinch and Cindy Lou Who. And of course, unfortunately, I do not know who the lovely actress is right there, but
Yeah, I
that
can
is
tell from
the
that angle.
scene. That is one of the most censored scenes, the only censored scene I could find for
Oh, yeah.
the show here on YouTube Live from the Grinch porn parody. And I watched that scene and I was so excited
so
and
you watched
so
the
happy
scene,
when
so-
I was
yeah.
watching the scene because I am into weird shit.
So was his cock
like
green
that,
or what?
so- No,
It
it
wasn't
wasn't, and
furry?
it bothered me. I was like, they couldn't at least use like a green condom or
Right,
something. Like,
right.
I feel like he should, like,
Right, well, maybe
Yeah.
right, like he's
Yeah.
like dogs, you know, their shit, they're red rockets
Oh, yeah.
right now. So
the Grinch has a
He-
red rocket.
it's got a red rocket.
And what we're gonna do, we have two more fucked up news articles we're going to get into, and we'll go ahead and let Dan get ready to get out of here. So this one we actually didn't get to last week, and I feel bad because we had Sarah J on. She has a CBD company, and we were talking about marijuana. And this one it fell through the cracks. This one is man claiming to be Santa Claus arrested for giving away marijuana.
Where the fuck was this? And why wasn't I not there?
That's like, why wasn't I a part of this? A Monterey area man was arrested for allegedly giving away handfuls of free marijuana to the patrons and workers of a seaside restaurant, according to the Monterey County Herald. Police were called to the Buffalo Wild Wings at 4 p.m., where Randy Lang, 57, was found wrapping marijuana in napkins and handing out to people in the businesses, the newspaper reported. He put the cannabis in the eatery's tip jar, as well as into the hand of an employee, while allegedly informing his beneficiaries that he was Santa and he had a gift for them, according to the
Holy
police.
hell, dude.
Cops found 2 pounds of prepackaged marijuana on Lang, who was arrested for furnishing marijuana, according to the newspaper.
No.
That's a good time. Like, I
Ew.
mean, at that point, like, do you ask Buffalo
So who-
Wild
who'd
Wings?
say
Like,
who called the cops on him? I guess Buffalo Wild
I
Wings.
guess Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, I mean, because, like, I mean, if that's you, like, you're gonna be like, hey, can I get the weed flavor wings? Like, that's what I want. I want to get the ones with the marijuana
Drizzle that
sprinkled. Yeah,
shit on.
just sprinkle. Like Matt will be like, I want like the hottest fucking wings you can get, but sprinkle a little bit of marijuana on.
Hey,
it.
I'll
Like,
tell you what, though, Buffalo Wild Wings, that is where it's at. If you ever go to like the one around their way,
yeah,
that's where people are getting high, man.
yeah.
Because they got the Dave and Buster's right next to it. I mean, I'm telling you, I actually put it there like a couple weeks ago, and I was out there, you know, toking up, car right next to me, smoke pouring out the windows, and we were just looking at each other like, yeah, bro.
Imagine that they're like a tip jar. Imagine you work at Buffalo Wild Wings and you don't notice that fucking Santa drops fucking weed into the tip jar. So you're just kind of like, all right, let's split up tips. And then you look and there's just a bud of weed just in there. And it's at that point, Matt would just be, that's fucking mine.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
I earned that.
Fuck yeah. Dude, you just have the rest of the shit. I'm taking this.
Like, this is for me. Like Dan. So how about that? And of course, you know, that probably the road we knew we were going to go down, and Matt probably already knows what I'm thinking. If you do a blowjob vomit scene, and the girl not only ate Buffalo Wild Wings wings beforehand, but she also, for some reason, tried to conceal marijuana, and she had a bunch of that into her system. And then the next thing you know, it's just chicken wings and marijuana coming out. Like, at that point, is it just kind of like, okay, we're going to continue the scene, or I need to know the explosion that is happening right now, why this is happening.
I mean, I usually just get wrapped up in the scene and I'm like, well, shit's going on. Let's just do the thing. You know, as long as they're cool, I'm usually cool. I mean, you know, there's of course consent issues with them consuming marijuana and doing a scene under the influence. That being said, if this is a, you know, completely fabricated world, of course,
Yeah.
I would just let them do their thing. If they're having a good time, I'm having a good time.
Nice. And like, and of course, our live feed, our good friend Jason Rushman, he said, so listen, he said, listen to this. I just walked outside and it's snowing like crazy. So I don't know where Jason is, but obviously it's snowing out his way. I think he's in the Jersey area. And then he said, Dan, what are your plans for the holidays?
Well, I got to finish up this road trip I'm on. I got to finish up some stuff in Kentucky for a family member, and then I'm going to haul it back, hopefully in time for Christmas. And just a quiet Christmas with my wife in California, my wife and my cats. And that's it, you know. Get tested somewhere in that range, so I'm ready to produce some more. But that's pretty much it, you know, just taking it easy.
How is it like? Of course, you said you met your wife in New York, so obviously you're from New York. You're used to like winters in New York. How is it with Christmases in California compared to Christmases you had in New York? Because obviously we're from Baltimore, so on any given day it could be summer, winter, fall, and spring all in the same day. So how was like the transition of doing Christmas in a warm climate compared to probably getting like 8 feet of snow in New York?
I mean, I would say it's much less nostalgic, but it's much nicer. You know what I mean? Because I can still go ride my motorcycle. I can still go do, like whatever I want with my day. I don't have to worry about road closures or anything like that. But it, like, obviously seeing the snow is very nostalgic. That's classic Christmas to me. Like you wake up Christmas morning, it's snowing, the whole thing. That being said, I'm good. If I need snow, I'll just drive up to Mammoth. It's fine.
Yeah. And Dan, what we're going to do is we're going to let you get ready to get out of here. Of course, we're running on to the official 1 hour mark. Of course, we always schedule our guests for a half an hour after when we came on, but of course you came on early. So you're running close to the hour and a half mark, which we appreciate. And Dan, where can everybody find you in case anybody, hasn't seen your work or they want to look you up? Of course, don't give out your address in case there's any weird people out there who would want to stalk you and track you down and go, you need to be my Santa.
Or blowbang you and vomit.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I need a good stalker, no. So on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, it's the Dan Ferrari. And then also I have my wife and I have our website, slutinspection.com. It is obviously a graphic nature, so please be above 18 if you want to go to that site.
And hopefully you are above 18 if you are watching this podcast, which is nominated for a 2023 AVN favorite podcast. So make sure you go out and vote for that. And what we're going to get ready to wrap up here on YouTube Live. Dan, would you be able to hang out for one more second, do a plug for us once we're all done? All right, cool. So, of course, we're going to be back here, of course, once again, live on December 23rd, which I believe is next Friday, right here on YouTube Live. And our featured guest for our Christmas special is Shay Seitz. So she will be joining us right here on the Happy Hour podcast. Make sure you tune in. And once again, please go out. Please vote for us. It's an honor. Even if we don't win, it's an honor just being included with so many great other podcasts for the 2023 AVN Awards. And, cast your vote. And we will see you guys next week. Of course, thanks again to Dan for joining us right here on YouTube Live for the Happy Hour podcast. And, Matt, you're back after 2 weeks. So, we had a couple of fill-ins and all that stuff. But, we'll be right back here. Same place, same time, same channel, right here on YouTube Live. Peace out, everybody. All right, so let's end that. Boom. So boom. All right, so Dan, man, thank you.